love and marriage, go together like a carabao and trike. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, it's a life you can't get rid of. Ask the local Filipinos here, and they will say his elementary. Try to separate them. It's an illusion. Try, and you will only come to this conclusion. I love and marriage, go together like a carabao and trike. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Life isn't easy with Heidi, American wife. So uptight, George tries, but sometimes cries. But they love each other, you cannot deny. A married life like no other. Love and marriage, go together like a carabao and trike.
Oh, good morning. Oh, I hope that ain't making any sound. Let's get a sound check. The audio situation. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody? Hey, Sarah. Good morning. There's Ebby over there. I'm somehow still trying to wake up. And I thought about what to talk about. It's a regular live stream day. And basically, short of getting nabbed on doing a total thumbnail, I wanted to do something. Of course, I'm going to talk about medical today because I seen the doctor on Monday. I'm also going to discuss being broke here. It also means if you're broke in America, you will be here. And we have these people, these hearsayer, naysayers, and whatever they are, that their lives are just so perfect. No health issues, no nothing. They always got to be a one-upper. And that's fine. But to pretend that you have your life together health-wise and financial, I tell you to fuck off. Because it is a fact that 70% of the world, not America, probably especially America, one, they're living paycheck to paycheck. The other part is nobody's got more than 10 grand in the bank. That's just the way it is. Shit happens. And it brings me to a thought where I seen them discuss all these new laws in America about homelessness. I've been homeless twice. So add that to your list of crap that I've done in my life. I've been homeless twice. A long time ago. This is at least 30 years ago. Now more than ever, you have that chance. And if you're an expat here and you go broke and lose even your credit cards, most of them are ending up on the streets. And the guy was discussing big portion of the homeless people have jobs. Rents have gone up so bad in the last 2 to 3 years, it's causing a whole slew of homelessness. Then they're making it illegal to be in your car and sleep. And they're making it illegal to be homeless in most states. And now they're building those camps. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So being poor is a crime. Now, it seems more so here in the Philippines. The expats make it a crime to be poor. Since the situation of me being sick, I have received some of the nastiest emails. People sneaking into Messenger and leaving them. Woe is me on other channels, at least 3 of them talking shit. And I'm like, wow, and your life is that good, huh? But they act like, or other expats that are coming here act like it's never going to happen to them. I never claimed to be rich, to be put together and all that. But sometimes it just ain't about coming here and getting you some nookie, or because like I've seen a whole TikTok page where they had a 70-something-year-old man that said, "Oh, no women in America look at me. They won't even talk to me." You think because you're old might be the only problem? No, everybody has issues. So when people just pretend it's about dating and all of this, probably the other half is financial and all the shit going on in other countries. There is such tension in other countries, it's unreal. So, yeah, if you're broke and crazy in America, you sure the hell are going to be that here. Because the first medical issue that you have, it's going to break you. And all this, oh, I've got the insurance and this and that. You're talking $400, $500, $600, $700 a month. Sorry, I'm not giving up most of my check to pay for insurance on a monthly basis. I had travel in the beginning. That's it. I thought I could fly. I gambled. So the title that went through my head is Living on the Devil's Dime and Waiting for God to Call. I didn't AI that or nothing because it's the truth. I had a rude awakening at the doctor's. He pretty much was like, "Why are you here?" Oh, hell no. And I said, "Because it's been 3 months, here I am, surprise." Actually, I think he was surprised. And I was like, "I'm here to do the blood work and to do another echocardiogram to see if beings I'm on suppressants and stuff, and the lung doctor's been treating me. I've been using more oxygen. Speaking of which, let me clarify this now and go ahead and get your video going now, dumbasses. I'm not on my oxygen because it broke. So it's not doing any of the regulating. When you guys were on the last live and you kept hearing that, and I said I thought it was the AC, it totally went out. So now I've got a little can of oxygen and my inhalers, and it's supposed to be delivered today. And so I'm waiting on that. And let me see, I had that here. Yeah, so same, can't ever. Anyways, so I already posted it on my, I updated on the page for the GoFundMe that I used some of the funds to pay for it. And I gave proof that I did it. So I try to update what's going on. In the US, it's about a $900 machine. Here, it's 300 and something. So I sprung for it because I need it. And so he went on to say that there's no reason. He goes, "I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. You need to go to the emergency room. You need to go in there and you need to," he goes, "I can clearly see how bad it is." He looked at my legs and he didn't like that bite either. By the way, who can actually say out loud that I'm faking? I was called a hypochondriac, and now I can add the cat bite to my list of lies. And I'm like, dude, did I AI that video or something? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, these guys are just rage bait bitches. And I'm like, who can actually debate a bite and that I'm a hypochondriac? I wish that's all it was. Also, I'm being told that the lupus is not a real thing, and the fibromyalgia that now that I'm seeing a rheumatologist here is also a lie. And that they're all made up and that's all I do is whine. And I'm like, if that's what the hell I want to do, and these are messages, other channels, big channels, and a bunch of small ones that's obsessed with me that are saying this, I am addressing, and I'm also addressing my current medical issues. And the doctor, this is part of the topic, the doctor then said that I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. And George was there, and he said that you need to go in. Is it going to be about, I said, I'm paying cash. He knows everybody does. You think it'll be 7 or 10 days? How long? I don't know, he said. And he said that he's not going to address anything except for the angiogram, I believe it's called, which is to prep me for stents. And I said, and I should only have that once, right? I need to be ready to have stents. He goes, yes. He said, that's exactly what needs to be done. I said, I don't have the money. He said, well, and that was pretty much the look that I got from him was unreal. And that's where the white privilege thing comes in, because somehow people believe because I'm a plus size girl and overweight and accept it, two things are happening. One, I'm rich, and one, I cause my own health issues. If you just go vegan, if you just eat healthy and exercise and you get the Ozempic, you will cure yourself of what's going on. The answer is no. Genetically, I got a heart valve going out. Would you like to address that one? I've been on steroids. Everybody is a doctor. Everybody's a critic. And it's amazing. It is simply amazing that they wouldn't address Selena Gomez or Tony Braxton because they're skinny. Oh, they're good performers and they didn't cause any of their issues. Did you see Selena Gomez in her cooking shows, the way she eats and adds oil and eats sugars and bakes all of her stuff? You don't think that she doesn't eat her shit? Bullshit. What I have going on is caused by my autoimmune issue and APS, which is sticky blood, and I have clots. Could it have been from my eating habits over the years? Yes. It doesn't mean it's the sole cause. You don't know the rest of my medical conditions, and that's about all people are going to get. So I'm raging a little bit today. To get a message again wishing me dead and that they hope the cat bite gets me was a little much yesterday. And it's the one that there was another one that I got. It's the same person. And I'm sure it's from one of the vloggers that quit a few years ago. They know who they are. They've been sending the same thing. They talk about the jobs. They talk about me. Now they hate George. Before they used to try to use George against me. Now they're addressing him as being a bum. So all it is it's still amazing how people have answers down to you were poor and broke and you can't cut it here. There was nothing saying that my ass couldn't come here to the Philippines to live a cheaper life and a life that I don't stress over. Okay, yes, I'm stressed now that I'm not able to get medical, but I didn't think my heart would go out. Nobody knows this stuff. You don't know what's coming. I also don't feel, and most people don't even put it in perspective, that when they're coming here, some of them don't even bring a few $100s and they run out the door to come here. We did put a lot into consideration. So all in all, the doctor did order more blood work, and just so we can check all the stuff going on. And he said, go to the emergency room. This is not a plea for money, because I'm telling you, there's been little to no money that's come in the last month. It totally slowed down because the people that care and watch on a regular basis, okay, has already done so much. New people are just not going to randomly come in and give money. That is where I'm at, guys. And so I can't hold the hope that I'm going to come up with that kind of money, nor is it the reason I'm talking. I want you guys to learn something from it. The moment you even think something's going wrong, you're going to want to go back. But I'm not the only one. Several people were stuck here and had to have open heart surgery with no chance to go home. Somebody brought up Jules in the Philippines. I was like, what an asswipe. Like literally in the comments, they brought him up, and he died of cancer and something else. Same thing. I think he knew how sick he was when he arrived. The problem is he had substantial money. Like he built a house with a swimming pool, brand new car, several kids here, several cars, and he was doing well, but treatment is going to wipe you out. Then I think he went to Thailand, but someone was like, yeah, you followed him like an idiot. And like, nobody knows. And if that's what we want to do, that's what we want to do. I just had a conversation with my daughter, and we went back through the same thing. I was going through the same thing through my head, that, what would be the better thing? And there's not any correct answer. Are the trolls and people right that I can make it back? And have I addressed this before? The answer is yes. If I lie, if I drag my ass and pay for a business class ticket, which I have the money for, I might survive. I got about probably a 10 to 20% chance of surviving and not getting a blood clot. I now can barely make it to the bathroom, and I can't stand long enough to do anything. And getting somebody to assist me, I can't pay for that. And even if somebody assists me, it's not going to take away the amount of pain, the swelling that I currently have. He said there's no way with you holding as much fluid in your body as you are. I put those photos up yesterday to show people that that's when me and George met. I have doubled my size, and it is not due to eating. It is not due to eating. For those that know, I have the gastric bypass. I am not sucking my calories down. I do not sit around and eat all day. And having a damn donut here and there does not double your weight in 5 years. It just doesn't. I've been on steroids. My lupus is causing some inflammation. And now the congestive heart failure had to be around for a while. So I've been accumulating the water. So, anyways, let me move on from that. So if I risk that when I should be in ICU, and yes, you can sit here and talk without oxygen and talk fast. You know why I'm talking fast? I'm on steroids and a cup of coffee. Some bitches out there was like, oh my God, look how fast she's talking. First off, they called my machine fake. And then they turn around and said, oh, she talks so fast. And if she can do that, she's not dying. And I'm like, okay, thank you, doctor. It doesn't matter. Either I can go anyways against doctor's orders and go back and risk that small percentage. So in my mind, I'm like, I've got that 10, 20%. People have said everything. Go anyways to Guam. Do this. Go to Thailand. Do that. And I'm like, if I sit in Guam or Thailand, I don't have the before money to wait, do the recovery afterwards, and I wouldn't be able to take somebody with me. So if I can't make it hardly to a doctor's office or a bank to go through all that extra on top of it, oh, thank you, Kat, would just be horrible. It is, and my children, I already have a place to go. So financially and a place to live, I could do it. But let's put on the other side people who understand what's going on in America. Okay. So I can, versus nobody's thinking about the whole picture. The whole picture is I just seen it was $20 for a chicken sandwich, and one of actually a few of the states. It was ridiculous. I won't be able to get a lot of transportation. It's probably going to cost me $30 just to go to an office. Yes, I am on Social Security disability. Let me address my Social Security on the side. In other words, I can't financially afford to live there. That's why I came here and sold everything. I cannot stay long term in America. So it's kind of stressed me out. It's either stay here day to day and live 6 months, or get on an airplane and risk my total life and total wreckage and being so broke, I'd have to just hide out in a room all day. So it is still rough on a day to day basis. I'm going to stay here and not risk my life. The amount of stuff out there, and I'm like, okay, well, even if the doctors told me to go, I had full clearance and was so healthy. Let's say I got the stents, because that's not going to fix everything. I'm either going to need stents down the road or open heart surgery after the fact. A coronary bypass, I have a valve that's going bad. Eventually, I have to have open heart surgery. By the way, that's on the paperwork too on the page. It shows my valve is going out. So eventually I will. If I was healthy enough right now to make it back, then I would return back. So that's, being on the devil's dime and waiting for God's call is an everyday thing for me. And it's been rough. It's been stressful. None of you are dealing with that. Do you know what it's like to sit here on a daily basis and don't know when you go to sleep if you're going to wake up? If something happens and the cats are stuck in the house and the animals are stuck in the house, there's still, a lot of people, oh, fuck them cats. And by the way, there's been some cruel people about that. It's like, Yeah, because I'm human. I do care about that. I worry more about George and these cats than I do myself. And what's going to happen after that? Is he going to continue the channel? Is he going to be okay? Is he going to go into depression? Where are the animals going to go live? There's a lot going through my head right now. Me doing this channel is good for me. Okay. It's besides that, I am in the hospital bed because I can barely move. It is a day to day situation. So it's extremely frustrating not having the money. It's extremely frustrating um, thinking, the different sides of going back. So let's say the thing is I go back and I risk my life and make it that percentage, then what kind of quality of life is that going to be afterwards? And then people are like, oh, well, you're still alive. Here's the thing. If you all want to think that I'm doing nothing but making excuses, that's up to you. It's my story, it's my problem, and I'll talk about it if I want to. It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. It's all free. Ain't nobody getting rich off of this. It's been less than 5,000 US altogether in the last 3 months that people have been helping. I am not getting rich off of this. Oh, now she's got a cat bite. Now she's scamming more and she won't go back because she owes money in America. I would rather go live in prison. I told you all that. Than to over what? Over they don't send people to jail over bills, you dumbasses. There is no warrants. I can go back at any time. So let me address that. I would rather do that if I thought that I could be more secure and be healthy enough to get back there and get healthy. But sometimes I get tired of the fight. You do realize, guys, that I am not with just heart conditions. The lupus is painful. I need knee replacement. There's a lot of things that are wrong, but it wasn't death at the time. Okay. So it's, if it's not one thing, and the cancer on my face, I've got skin cancer. Why don't you add that to you're a hypochondriac? How does that make me a hypochondriac? Either way, learn from it. You're going to go through relationship problems. There it is. You're going to go through your medical problems here. If you can trust your spouse, if you can trust other expats here, you're going to be judged based on your skin color. I'm going to address the comments here in a little bit. Yeah, I see. I bet you half these guys are trolls because usually we don't hit 70 or 80. And a lot of you guys are listening to lies. I'd like to hear you defending, like you go on other channels and defend religion and politics and all that other bullshit. But if I talk about any of them, it's bullshit. But it just doesn't make any sense that it just doesn't. Anything can go wrong here. And the white privilege thing and being judged, I'm being judged because I'm fat. And that's absolutely the reason. Is that why I have cancer too? Skin cancer? Is that? I could deal with a hole in my face. Didn't need to go back to America for that. I'll deal with it. I've already had a procedure done here. I've got it on my arms. But here's the thing. I could possibly be taxed totally in the hospital. You think they regulate things here like they do somewhat in America or like China? I seen a video on China the other day. They have a screen that gives you a breakdown of price before you even see the doctor or before a surgery. They don't do that here. They will take a deposit and bill me as they see fit. And that would be it. It really would be. Let me make sure that's not him. I asked him not to bring it. Oh, and another thing, let me readdress. I'm on Social Security disability. I've left the country 6 years ago. I am not on welfare privilege, Social Security. I wasn't born disabled and I wasn't handed my shit. And because you all Google and pay somebody to get my information, which the person that emailed again last night said he had all of that, you don't still know my job history or what's going on. I'll tell you right now, 80% of the stuff out there is not true. I have had multiple jobs and careers, and most of the stuff that's out there is a lie. I earned my Social Security, and they know where I am, the same as immigration. If they want me, here I am. Actually, on another channel, you know what type of assholes these expats that are living here are? And 67-year-old guys, they're telling them to report me. Contact Social Security and tell them that she's not supposed to be out of the country and she's defrauding them, and then they'll throw her ass in jail. What did I do to you besides call you a dickwipe or hurt your little feelings that you would try to take somebody's finances that's dying? Karma is what's going on. My Social Security was earned. It is not a handout. It is what I earn, the same as all 50,000 something guys that are here. You wouldn't say that about them. Oh, look at him. Way to go. You got a 20-year-old chick, got a new baby. Oh, you just built yourself a little brick house out on some land. Okay, but I become sick and it's all downhill. So it's crazy. So much misinformation being given. Absolutely information. And Jesus, he did do it. He's here. 1 second, guys. I sent him a message. 1 second. Yeah. Hello. No, sweetie. All right. Okay. All right. Try to address that one. All right. So where was I? So it is what it is. I forgot my train of thought, but that's pretty much what I want to address. And I'll let you know right now, nothing that you guys are going to say is going to change anything. If I don't want to wear my oxygen on air, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to justify. I'm not going to keep. I have only been updating for the people that care, not the ones that are looking for information. You guys don't have shit for shit. Oh, I hope he's not. I hope he's joking. No. Okay, so no, there was supposed to be another delivery of pet food, and I didn't. I thought he said he came already. I'm trying to negotiate prices because we have to have 2 bags delivered, and it's cheaper to get it from a bigger warehouse than the little place. And I thought the dude just showed up on his own. That's why I said, oh, hope he didn't. But, anyways, I don't show stuff to prove that I need money. I already told you I do need money. And the other part is not to defend myself, because I know I'm right. I just do it because there should be more open stuff, as far as, especially beings, there are people that are like loyal and they've been watching and they are wanting the real updates. And if the trolls are watching, so be it. You're just adding anyways. When you watch and talk about me, you're contributing. That's it. So it's just where it is, people. It definitely is. And it doesn't. I will tell you, I've addressed, I just see where, let me go to the bottom here real quick, where Raymond said, don't let those people bother you. They don't, but there's a limit. When people wish you also dead, when they say, I hope she dies, she's getting everything she deserves, I'm like, who are these people? Or they say things like, oh, another dumb expat that came here anyway. She's been talking shit about people. Now it's happening to her. Karma. I hope she dies. I'm like, wow, okay. You have your right to your opinion. I'm already dying. You're not changing any of that. Okay. And so, one, I like to address it. It's just part of the YouTube world. It's content. If I address it, it's because I'm feeling something. It's I don't lose sleep, but I will tell you, when I first started, it did. And it gets to a lot of people. They can't just shrug it off. So they tell you, no matter what, you never address it because you're feeding them and it shows them they're winning. That is never true. The other part of it is you learn to play the game. They're not paying my bills, they're not living here, they're not renting full-time space. Initially, I was more butt hurt that somebody didn't like me. Now I realize there's no friends in this game. People that are watching do not have to be my friend. People that are watching, you're going to find a big percentage when you have a YouTube channel, or people that are so hating you that they're obsessed in watching. Like, I watch the Kardashians for that purpose. I'm like, damn, look at this. And she said this about her surgery, and now her surgery isn't working on her face. Sometimes you just watch anyway. So I know people watch for different reasons. There are people coming here. I don't want my hand held when I'm coming to the Philippines with a bunch of lies like most channels do. Even if they're telling you things and things look good, they're not addressing everything because they need you to watch their channel. A lot of them need that income. There's a good portion that's on a smaller budget. My money was fine until the medical came. I do not have 40,000 to put myself in a hospital for any purpose. And to put myself in to get the fluid off me would be everything plus more. It could be up to 10,000 just to enter. And I can't risk that. That would make George have to do a loan possibly. I don't know how we would repay it. And they charge a ton of interest here. So I've just learned to deal with it. And I'm doing me. I'm doing me and taking care of the cats. To address on the side note, George was here yesterday and he was here, okay, this morning. He was here the day before. We are fine at this point, okay? He comes and goes as he always has, and he will continue to do videos. We've both agreed that I'm going to be doing the live streams, and that's the way it is. And we told you guys this a long time ago. But now it's just been more tension. I don't think he's handling what's going on very well. He just lost his dad a few months ago, and he's handling a lot of family issues at the other house. And so I will just leave it at that. And so, I wanted to address that today also because people were asking. I've got Tweety here that keeps, but all I'm saying is right now, I am not going to put all my concern into what he's doing. I just need things simple. I need things very simple. If that's what he wants to do, I don't want to even talk or argue about it. And we weren't before. He came and went as he pleased. But when he pops off during a live and he's doing things against like what I've asked him not to do, I just don't even want that opportunity. So sitting down and doing a live seems to be where most of our fights are coming from. If we're playing cards and watching movies and cooking together, there's usually no fights, guys. It's the disagreement of who's right, who's wrong, and the attitudes during the YouTube. And it did cause some tension. And it does for a lot of channels that do them together. They just don't say it. We show it. So, let's see. I don't know. No, I can't do that. I can try to put the hair behind. Got the stuff blowing in my face. So, and a big shout out to the members and those that have been washing and watching. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? Ooh, so there is the QR code for the PayPal. I will put it up there because then I just get asked afterwards. People don't go and look in the description, and then I get a bunch of emails. A bunch means probably 2, 3 of them that ask. So I'm going to put that up today. That is support for the entire channel. Hey, what's going on, Laura? Good morning. Did your mom ever say those photos who I look like? That was in Sarasota, Florida. And I just used to do the casual makeup like that. It was usually just lipstick. There was, no face makeup, no filters or nothing. That's just red lipstick and being out on. I'm surprised I didn't burn up on that back porch. Like the thing that I was out on. There was sun out that day. Hey, what's going on, Fallen Center? What's going on? Yeah, it's the same ones. Yeah, we enjoy writing them and we've had these for a while. I noticed that the ones that do it now, all the apps, they just generate them. We just didn't generate these. These we created not only the lyrics and the instruments and the sounds, the pitches and everything, but it was still done AI. And, it is pretty cool. All right, so we got the good sound. Audio is good. No, I think the equipment's getting old. I think we've had it for close to 2 years, probably even 3. And the cats just get up on here. And if I'm not watching them, they go to town stomping and they do it about 5 times a day. And I think just everything's getting loosey. Loosey goosey. Good morning, Slick Rick. Hey, what's going on? I feel better today than I did yesterday. George wanted to go somewhere else, and he wanted to go to another doctor, and I just wouldn't do it. I said, I cannot go. And one clinic was nearby, and the other one, it was to deal with my bite. And I told him, I said, I'm not going 20 miles away. And I said, it's just not going to happen. And I said, can't we go to the one here? And we got into some disagreement over it. And I said, George, you don't get it. I don't understand. I said, I cannot sit up in a car with the amount of swelling and how bad I feel. I just can't be out and about. And so I said, there's just no way. I can't go that kind of distance. And so it's like I don't know why. Somebody tell me why it is that people think that they know what's best for me, and that there's no way that I'm in a pain level 10 unless I have cancer and show it. I don't understand that. Has anybody had the fluid retention and the edema so bad that their entire body is? It feels like when somebody touches me, every bit of my body is bruised. And my feet, legs, and body are burning, itching. My muscles are concrete and hurting, and it is a pain level of 10 right now. The further in the day, it gets worse. And if I lay down and put my feet up and lay in one position, then it's much better. I probably can come down to a 4 or 5 in pain. But I can't understand for the life of me, including my spouse, family, friends, trolls, that they don't understand that my pain level, besides my heart condition and lupus, is severe. And I told him, as he was on the phone talking to him, we've already waited too late. It's 10 in the afternoon. I'm swelling. Things are going south. And I said, George, I said, I'm sorry. If you're not willing to go to the nearby one, I'm done. I said, I can't. And then it was that I was pretty much a complainer. And that's not what's going on. Nobody knows but me. Only I know my body. I told him that with the lupus, that's why we ended up with the wheelchair. Because once my body is weak and the knees are going out and your body's not feeling good, you could collapse anyways. And I used to tell that to George when we were out in the mall, and he just looked at me like I was crazy. He wanted to push on and push me to go on. And I said, I can't. I have to sit down. There's no way. And it's the same with now. I was like, if I'm saying I can't make it, I can't make it. And so it's like, what is that father knows best situation? Hey, what's going on, bro? Professor? Good morning, Sister Heidi and Brother George. You're looking good today. Been homeless. Those that know and live through it understand. Yeah, not everybody, it's kind of like when they put the titles on your head, or that based on looks, weight, classisms, all. It's just insane that they think everybody's a druggie that's homeless, and they cause that on their own. Now, is there a percentage that end up out there like that? Yeah, but most of them are not affording their bills. And that's what happened to us back in the day. And that was still back in the day. So we couldn't afford daycare for two kids. I wasn't working, and he was, but it wasn't enough to keep up on the rent, electric, and everything when we was in Clearwater, Florida. And we asked him for a week extension, and this landlord was set. And that's their right. It really is. And they didn't play no games. And so we got in our car and went down to the beach. Now they've made it illegal. At least you could do that back then, back in the 90s and stuff. And now it's just horrible. As soon as they start getting them encampments built, they're going to basically make it a work camp. And it's not easy. It definitely isn't easy. And so if people can take their income or take what they've got, a lot of Americans are leaving. They are taking their Social Security. They are taking the one pension. They are taking a job overseas. They don't like the political climate, how mean, like there's open shootings at schools and on the streets and people attacking people in cars. I'm telling you, it's way safer here. So take that in mind, plus the cost, plus the political crap. It just is not the same America. I love the American people in a whole, the ones that are good, and my country. But at this point, it just become crazy over there. So, you know, there is good and bad everywhere. There are problems everywhere. Always remember, if you're struggling financially and you're blowing your money on alcohol and weed all day, you're going to manage to do it here too. If you can't control your finances, that's not what's going on with us. We have the basic money and always have to live. It's the bigger items that were causing issues for us, like when we wanted to get the e-trike. And if we want to use our channel for that and people want to support our channel as we gather money, that's a whole different level. The same with the wheelchair situation. The the level of broke that some guys arrive here on is wild. Five, six, seven, $800 a month. I just seen someone the other day. Oh, if I just had 30,000 pesos when I arrived, will that be enough to pay things? And then you'll have a bunch of them say, oh yeah, go out to the province and go here, here, and there. And I'm like, dude, don't even try it. They don't take into consideration the cost of everything, and everybody's experience will be different here. Hey, what's going on, Sperlin? What is going on? I love these things. This is the one it's from Thailand. This one's peppermint and some other. It's just not like Vicks, where they have the inhaler. So, oh, and that's another thing. The doctor increased my water pills. I was like, thank you. So it's like it was just amazing that he's like, well, I get it. You're pretty much not doing what I'm asking. You're broke. What can I do for you? And let me tell you what, Filipinos are rude like that. But so are regular doctors, but at least they'll joke with you. This guy was cut dry and cold. It's kind of like what I'll get from George. I'm like, damn, it's a dryness, like George has told you guys. You got to watch your joking. I even joked about the bite. That's bad. Not only is your swelling bad, but that bite is bad, which by the way, that's improved since Monday. Um, I said, yeah, but did you see the cat? I said, did you see him? I said, he's dead. I've got rabies, and it didn't go over at the bank either because George was talking about it. And I said, yeah, but I said, I took care of him. So, I like to joke a lot and nobody wants to take a joke. Now, if they want to have fun, party, and make off jokes and play laugh tracks, they want you to follow with them on the laugh tracks. But if you try to use humor, they're so serious and the word is sensitive. Filipinos can't take, like, I would make jokes about George in the beginning that were very easygoing, like, oh, you give little bear hugs. He would get offended over little. Or if I talk about our height difference, which was evident, and stuff like that, it's just like, he wouldn't say nothing, but I've heard later down the road, he'll say, oh, we used to talk about my size. I said, damn, you want to wait 3 years to talk about that? You're holding that in and angry about it? This is the Philippines. So the guy was just really off. And I'm like, you do know that I don't have 40,000 to enter the hospital. No person has that here in the Philippines. And and I had to tell him that. I'm like, dude. And it's like, I'm trying to take care of what I can until I save or something. Either it's going to be a miracle, either going to be living on the devil's dime and waiting for God's call, or, I'm just going to say, fuck it and get on an airplane and risk everything. There'll be a point. I don't know how many of you have been in a position where you thought that was it, you were going to die. It is scary. I've been there several times. I've had a lot of surgeries. I had that slip and fall outside, dislocated my arm, didn't know when George was coming out there in the sun. I thought that was it. Imagine the Australian guy that was in the hospital and he broke his hip and he waited to get less than 4,000, 3,000 US, the one that we talked about. Then he finally gets a surgery and he dies in there. But that was it. He already had infection. His blood pressure went up. He had edema because everything went bad on him in the end inside. And it was a public hospital. No AC. There were like 20 beds in there. So when there's 20 beds in that room, their families are all there. They're playing their radios. They're, eating in there. It's just crazy to think about how that man died. Imagine what was going through his head. Absolutely going through his head. So I do feel privileged that I'm here in my AC and can afford my AC as I have every month. And I have my medicines. Me and George was talking about that. There are people that can't even afford their water pills. And I'm on 3 different types. And one of them is twice a day. And the other one I have to take 3 times a day now. And I'm like, people don't even have that privilege. And at least I have something to maintenance me. At least when my oxygen went down, I was able to replace it. Not so with people. There are people that are dying just as much as I am that don't even get their oxygen. It doesn't mean it's going to kill them sooner or later. It's just they need it. It's a discomfort thing more than me not having oxygen is causing damage. And it's, how do I want to put this about the oxygen? Filipinos just can't afford things. People in the world can't afford things. They go without it. It doesn't mean that they could live 3, 4, 5 years. That's what I'm trying to say, is that Filipinos don't even have that option. So I'm blessed that I have food and, that I have a clean place to live when there are people on the street that are just as sick as me that don't have anything. So I try to keep that in mind. That is for sure. So, Raymond, good morning. 10 grand. I wish by the end of the month I had $1.77. Yeah. Now, when I was in America and it was just me on a month-to-month basis before I met George, George was truly the one that had the finances. I had credit cards, couple thousand in the bank. I didn't have a ton of money. It was month to month. If I left the money and loan in the bank back then, that was pretty much me. I was lucky to, because like I budget down to what I'm actually doing. Yeah, I wasn't ordering fast food a lot back then. I wasn't having groceries delivered to my house. I wasn't going on vacations or doing whatever, but I was comfortable. I had everything that I needed. But now, geez, that would actually be absolutely ridiculous to think about. I think it was Hawaii that had the $21 chickens at Burger King. And I was like, oh, hell no. $21 for a chicken sandwich. I'm already bitching here when they charge $5 for something. Like there were some sandwiches, I think, what was it? I think Wendy's is selling something that's $2.99 or three, and that would be close to $5. And I'm like, I can't see that. Even now, I'm freaked out about it. So I'm become my grandparents. Hugh just made it. Rants are beyond ridiculous. Greedy ass. Oh, rents are beyond greedy ass landlords. Rants. Greedy ass landlords are raising the rent because of the oil prices. What the hell? The electric bills are going up here and in the United States. That's another thing. There's no way if there was two incomes and both me and George made it back there and I risked my life, it would still be crazy. So I would rather stay here. And I'm going to say it. And you can go ahead and say whatever you guys want on your channels. Heidi said she's not going back because she would not have the money. You're damn motherfucking right. You're damn motherfucking right. I'm going to make two statements and there ain't no bipolar shit to it. There ain't no halfway to it. Not only can I not make it back and it's risking my life and it would be extremely painful, I sure the fuck can't afford it. I just can't. But so people think it is that easy to risk both of them being homeless to stay alive. No, no, thank you. I will stay here for 6 months in comfort, then go back there and be on the street later. Nobody understands that. That's not a wouldn't, couldn't, shouldn't. It's all the above. They just showed those mobile homes in different places, not these really cheap ones they built back in the day. These are ones they were already paying 800 a month or something. Plus, they already paid expensive for these really nice places like they have in Florida. They have doubled and tripled. They want 2,000 for lot rent, and it's not even that super fancy. It's just an okay place. It used to be five, then it goes up to 600, then it goes up to 800 over the years, and now they want 2 grand. Do you know why? Because corporations have learned to buy up these mobile homes. These billionaires are buying up property in mobile homes and doubling rent on people. They want America broke. They can control, it's like a whole monopoly. It is a system that has already been put in place. And that's how they're going to do it. They're going to raise the rent and they're going to drive out everybody, middle class, poor, and all of that. And not everybody was privileged to end up with money. There are people that are honest, religious, hardworking, never missed any work, took on second jobs that still end up homeless, that still end up broke. First thing I hear about me, oh, well, you should have got another job. You should have done this. There's no way you worked. You didn't try hard enough. You're this and that. And I'm like, that doesn't change anything. And people do work hard, and it doesn't mean they're going to have money. And it doesn't mean, I mean, I know people and that like if they come from a parent that let's say is an alcoholic and they're already living in a bad home and then it carries over and they become alcoholics and they kind of in line, they're trying to break that cycle. Maybe a little different, maybe, but overall, you know, it is, don't blame them for all these other things going on and oh well, they came from a poor family, they're just always going to be trash, and they're in a trailer, they're always going to be trash. No, there's just, and the jobs, that's another thing. AI is taking over jobs. Jobs are all being taken over. There are less jobs, not more. You can't believe in the market reports. Even if they do come out, they're fake now. You can't trust the government, and it's become a joke. It really has. So now there are no jobs, rents are doubling, car payments are doubling. I just realized, what does it cost? $100 to fill up a gas tank? That's at least one a week. I had to fill up my tank at least one a week. So in the car that I had. And I can't imagine paying 400 or 500 a month just in gas. And sometimes I had car payments. I cannot imagine. And that's less the insurance. And my son said the car insurance was a double, triple. Insane. There's just no way. So don't expect me to give up what I have here to live. I'm 55 and still need open heart surgery. No, thank you. I will. I'll wait. Like Tom Hanks said in that movie, the one where he was stuck in the airport. I'll wait. So it's just like, by the day, it's getting ridiculous. Hey, hey, what's going on, Expat Forever? Good morning. What's going on? LG is here. Hey, where's George? Yeah, I dressed up. Let me see what time. Yeah, you did that when we first came in. As you said, this is George's channel, and you are the assistant. True. If George is no longer on the channel, do you have to pay taxes? Okay, LG, as always, you always say the trollish things, and you have the right to address that. And I have, and I addressed this all in the last year or so. George is still owner of the channel. This is not in my name. I am not working a job. I am not. I'm here. Okay. It's where it is. He's still in my life. And if George doesn't want to be here and he just wants to do videos, and we've agreed on that, we're just running the channel. Who's paying taxes is definitely none of the people's business anymore. It actually hasn't been forever. So it's just where it is. So uh, I'm just an assistant. Yeah, I said that once before. I said that I do the live streams and I'm not the owner, and I am not the one on the taxes. George pays taxes. He's getting ready to pay taxes when he sits down with the tax man. It is not even going into an American bank. It goes into a Singapore route. And so it has nothing to do with me, my social security, or the way I live my life. So nothing. He's not going to be on the lives anymore. I'm doing the lives because I want to. Bottom line. So it's just where it is. Sure, the trolls want to hear that and flip it and turn it. And it doesn't matter what you say. You all been talking shit, not you specifically. The others have been talking shit. You're going to lose this. You're going to do that. And then other people are like, well, don't say that because it gives them ideals. They're already starting shit. You ain't done shit. I've been here for 6 years and you've threatened everything and I'm still here. It's because you ain't got nothing. They're just talk. And even some have reported. Don't care. It didn't work. So evidently it hasn't. Doesn't change anything. I know the legalities. I'm not a fool. I'm a very bright woman. I will scheme, skis, and take those words, scam and skis. I'll do what I've got to stay on top. That's just where it is. That is where it is. Take that to the fucking bank. You're not getting over on me. I'm not losing anything. I'm not stupid. And when I say scheme and scam and all that, you're not getting ahead of me. I know what I'm doing legally. I would not put myself in that position. So think what you want, what you will. I do what I've got to do. So yeah, I said hi to Ronald. I said morning to Slick. Everybody saying hi. Hi, people. Hi, Heidi. Laura saying her highs. Well, it's just wild. These aren't even teenagers that go into the rooms. But see, people, that's just it with the YouTube, social media, and the media world. One, they feel they can. Most and all people, probably 9 out of 10, would never say that to you in a grocery store. They would never approach me. They would never have these opinions, and they would keep it to themselves. There are two type of people. And I'm going to tell you, you got the right one when it comes to that. So they don't have the balls. So then they're keyboard warriors. They make their threats. And I am aware that it's just talk. And they can attempt and do whatever. And I'm like, I'll wait. Whenever it happens that you say you're doing, I'll wait. And you guys do realize it's like a tree falling in a forest 100 miles away. You think that I'm watching everything. I get people that tell me what's going on, but they like to think because I know things that I'm watching. But even if I am, they're still unimportant, right? Well, it's wild that most of these guys, I've seen their photos, I've seen things, I know what they look like. They're overweight, they're older, they're bloated, they have medical conditions, and they're talking shit. Those that have their own problems will deflect on what's going on with you. What it is they're more like me, so they're afraid of me. And I'm not going to shut my fucking mouth. I've been around too long, 55 years to deal with this shit. I'm not going to hide. I'm not leaving this YouTube channel. I'm not going to back down. I'm going to keep asking for help. I'm going to keep talking about this. And even if I don't, and everything drops off on this channel, you're still going to hear from me. You don't like me because the truths are coming out. You would rather go listen to lies like what's going on in America. You want to be fed a lie and be brainwashed than to listen to any of the truth. So then I'm a liar and ridiculous. No, wouldn't it? The a lie will spread faster than the truth, and to lie to yourself and just keep calling me fat and old and that I'm not sick and that lupus doesn't exist, neither does fibromyalgia, and your heart conditions that you're showing proof of don't exist. You're scheming and scamming people for money over it. You're okay, but only you're saying I'm scheming and scamming. Evidently, people want to help and they're looking at the actual documents. And you know what? A lot of them aren't even looking at documents. They're listening to me. Okay. Oh, well, I can't see that you're sick today. You don't have the oxygen. It's just insane. So it's insane that that's the only thing I can't wrap my head around is they would be that fascinated. There's a different level of crazy. Like there are like stalking fans for like Britney Spears and the Kardashians that will go follow them at their house, break into their house. Yeah, it's not that level. They just want to watch. They want to hear. What they want to do is watch me suffer. They want to hear my suffering and then talk about it. They want to, it's kind of like when we watch certain scary movies or the drama stuff is like, damn, I'm glad that didn't happen to me. Like I watched that one where that guy, I think it's called 138 Hours or something, the guy that got stuck in the cliff. Sure, it makes me feel better when I see that guy. It's kind of like I like the drama. It takes my mind off of shit. I'm entertaining. I'm I they don't build it like this anymore. What expat is doing YouTube and live streams in the Philippines that is even remotely like me? Y'all can't handle the Heidmeister. That's where it is. You're fascinated. I don't get 138 people on a normal basis. I just don't. You all want to hear what you can make up, or those that care for me want to hear, but it's just wild. You don't think you guys have no idea how deep my brain goes or how much I think. I know what's going on and I'm enjoying it. When you go to multiple channels and they're talking, when you guys watch, it contributes to the channel. When you talk about us on your channels, it contributes. I appreciate it either way. I enjoy being up in the drama. You got the right one. The other channel's like, oh, boo-hoo. He said my husband was old and said he was in a nursing home and he's got shitty pants. And, oh, my God, I'd like to punch him in the face. I'm like, oh, shit, it ain't going that far. Just because I cuss don't mean that ain't going that far. I'm going to be a little dramatic because that's what I am. But the fact others are taking it so serious because someone's talking like, as soon as I get off the lives, I said, I know those bitches are watching. They're going to talk about me. And sure enough, you never disappoint within 12 hours. You never do. So it's amazing, the game. It really is. Matter of fact, I think I actually get off. I actually am probably still live besides the animals and the YouTube channel. I contribute this whole situation going on. That and watching the politics and the world fall apart. That's the other part. Because the doctor was like, what are you doing here? That was pretty much it. Because he's not going to call me and check on me. That's just where it is. And I'm like a medicine refill, would like to get updates on the test. He goes, you need to go to the hospital. You need to go and get the angiogram and get the stents. Okay, well, when you loan me, what, let's see, 2.5 million for the stents and entering the hospital. So I don't know, 40, 60,000 to enter just to take care of that. I have to stay in there 7 to 10 days beforehand. Nah, I'll let you know. You give me a loan. So it's like, yeah, I'm just trying to survive. I'm living on pure hate, living on pure love, and living on adrenaline. You guys have no idea. I'm a fighter. And just because I'm fighting doesn't mean I'm sick. And honestly, I don't give a fuck if you guys think I am or not. Mm. Oh my God, you can't be sick. No, I'm not sick. Boom, you got me. Absolutely. Scammer, skeezing, and all of that. And this has all been a lie. AI'd all the documents. Oh, she admitted it. That's what you guys are idiots. Jesus. Hey, thanks, Mike. Hope you're doing well. Jules had no money left. He invested all he had in the property, house, and vehicles. Yeah. And here's the thing 100% if I knew that I had the cancer that he had that he already knew, then of course I wouldn't have left. I had lupus, some bad knees, and some aches and pains. I did not have any signs of congestive heart failure. I did not have any, I was hurting, but it was not what he had. Then I wouldn't even have attempted it. So it is my fault for coming here and worsening. And that doesn't mean that he couldn't. He had his reasoning. Think about it. Maybe his money and income and the savings, he's like, listen, we can live a way better life. I guess he thought too that he wouldn't die this soon, or he could get the treatment done. But it's, everybody has their position for sure. Have no idea, Timmy. You appear to be new. I have no idea who that is, unless you're just mentioning him to mention him. Oh, okay. I'm a bum, and I can be a bitch. It's part of a relationship. The government of the Philippines says that before you come here, you need to have financial stability, emergency plan, medical. To ignore that is to be ignorant and unprepared. I had all of that when I entered the country, all of it. So where's your point? And they say to do that. It's not a law. Okay. I had finances. I had insurance for quite a while. I've been here for almost 6 years. I didn't know that they would become more expensive, which they have, and that I'd get hit by heart issues. So, and an emergency plan, you can't force me onto a medevac for 200,000. Oh, and by the way, if I didn't mention this, and I don't think I did, besides being 35 to 40,000 to get on a cargo ship that somebody recommended, it takes 30 to 45 days to make it. And then I would still have to get on an airplane and go back to Florida, where I am able to stay as I wait for full treatment. So it's out of the question. So, but it's a good statement for everybody overall. I'm sure you're just not addressing me. This was fine for a few years. Things happen. You cannot be that well prepared, and 80% of the world is not. That is a fact. That is a fact. I had that when I came here. I suggest people have that, and that's a good point. Oh, there you go. Hey, pony boy, you can't prepare for everything. No, that's an absolute fact. Some people do make those plans and have that stability. There's a lot of what they call that well laid plans. How was I supposed to know that the lupus would eat at my heart and that my sticky blood was clotting my legs and my valves and my arteries? Had no idea. No idea. So it's where it is. Okay, so you are addressing the fact. No, your statement is ignorant. And I will say that. Some of the stuff you say, you just want to rage bait. That's exactly what you're doing. Your statements make no sense. So, what are you talking about? That is not you. And maybe you are one of those other 20%. I did, other people did, and you can't prepare for everything. Even if you prepare for everything, something's going to come up. like George said before, you're that optimistic, pessimistic person. You're always, no matter what we say or other people, you're going to go against it. And you're always in a perfect plan. Nobody knows you. 5K. I thought you were over 9,000 US at the end of March per what, George? Okay, be free. I've been talking to you. There has been expenses, and I will have to take a look. 9,000, 10,000. I don't believe I said any of that. Okay, so I don't know where you're coming up with that. Okay, and I can't even enter right now and be covered by that. I don't have the book in front of me. Last amount in the bank. I said if we add currently what I just got paid through Social Security, maybe could scrape together that full amount. But I never said 9,000. I'd have to take another look. And you know what? I addressed you on this before. First off, you came in there, I gave you some information. Then you came back and demanded a bunch of other stuff. I told you part of the money is being given directly to the clinic that I'm going to. So I'm not even going to see that money. And I told you that. So if you're including that money, that's fine. What I physically have in the bank and have access to is the amount that I said. The other amount, and I believe that's what I told you. See, you're just trying to trip me up. So which is it? And you haven't been in the live since you got that information. So be free. You've always been trollish, and I also will not address you in here trying to stir stuff up. That's what it is, and you ain't got nothing. You're right. I told you somebody gave money direct. Then you tried to ask me exactly, and I'm like, okay, what? You're gonna call them? What is that your motherfucking business to call them? Okay, you whatever. I put my doctor's name up there. You're not the one giving me the money. You're one of those trollish people on these other channels. That's ridiculous. I thought you said this, try and trip me up. No, I said somebody gave it directly. You think they're going to talk to you? The answer is no. I directed and talked to you and gave you more information than I even owed you. I don't fucking owe anybody anything at all. You just sure the fuck don't ask for it for other people that are fucking that you guys are giving money to. Just bullshit, man. That's the shit I'm talking about. Catastrophic medical events, most are not in any position to handle it. No, they're not. Not at all. Not nobody. And the ones that say they are full of fucking shit. No, Ponyboy's absolutely correct. Heidi, can these delivery people put your stuff in the door? No, because the gate's locked. Or I would have. And if I unlock it, then I don't need kids in the neighborhood or someone coming in and messing with the e-trike. So you don't leave your gates unlocked with us having stuff. And so I can't, no. I cannot leave it unlocked. So, no, I thought about it too, but I just can't risk that either. Let's see. They bother me, these creeps. I see them all over YouTube. Cringy, creepy, pretty much, and I've been blocking them. Yeah, it's another thing. They're like, oh, well, she blocks my comments. Yeah, when you're making up false stuff or attacking my other people, I'm not going to leave it up. Why? You expect me to leave it up because you feel it's the truth? No. You're not going to defamate, and you're not going to come in and run it like it's your channel. You can peep from a side, but you're not leaving your messages in there. We've said that for years. Hey, what's going on, Black Grandpa? What is going on? I have. Can the American Embassy help you? Didn't they help Meghan Markle's father? Well, the only thing the embassy can do is repatriate you by giving you a loan. That means they can do that. Now, we had somebody come in here and say that they will give you money and stabilize you so you can make it home. They're not going to give me a loan for that or help me with that money. I have talked to the ambassador. I've talked to somebody twice. I addressed that at the very beginning, I don't know, 2 months ago in a live stream. I sat on the phone. I wanted to see if they could give them a piece of paper to let me enter and deal with it, figuring maybe there was a slight chance. There is no way. They don't give you money or the loans or tell them to help you. I would have thought there'd have been something. No, the answer is no. So whatever they did for him, it must have been enough to get his ticket home. So they didn't, because he's Meghan Markle's father, would not have indicated that he got help for no matter what was going on. But they don't pay for medical. And whoever's saying that's a lie. So the answer is no. I don't care if you AI it or whatever. They don't do it. It is nowhere online that they do it, or they always have. They will come to you if you're in jail and bring you a list of attorneys and all that and help you when you're in there on that issue. If you're homeless and things are bad, they will give you enough of a loan and they will have you go home. They will help with passports and give you a temporary, but they don't pay for whatever goes on. So the answer is no. Yeah, so let's see. So be free. Before I even addressed you the first time, there you are. And you just fed exactly what I said. So I answered you in those emails because it was honest where the money is. And I told people that I would address them. You pretended you're a troll. You're probably that other channel. And it doesn't matter what you say, what you do. It's you were what I thought you were. He said not to address you. I'm like, no, I knew you were a troll and I told you exactly where the money was. I'm not going to give you a phone number so you can call my doctor. So they're going to tell you that somebody gave them money and that the other amount was close to that 5,000 and shit has been purchased since that money. So you don't even know what you're talking about. You're just pathetic. Oh, I think you guys are talking about something. Laura's going back and forth. Hey, what's going on? Our Philippine journey in the house. Heidi, many, including you, will be offended by the following, but it's simply the truth. All of us are going to pass away at some point. Yeah, accept it, relish your life. And yeah, no, I'm not offended by that. No, that's where I'm at. That's why I'm addressing. I'm not going to be ashamed to say that I really don't want to go back. Every day it's becoming critical in America. The war, the political tension, the crime, the cost. And I've been gone for 6 years. So add in the fact that even if I fix my heart conditions, I have the cancer that I got to deal with. I got to deal with having valve replacement down the road. I'm 55. If I live tomorrow or another week, at least here I'm happy. I see why guys don't go back. They should have went back because they were sick. Why do I want to live beyond this? I will take care of what I can now. So yes, that's why I pretty much do what I want. So in other words, I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to enjoy watching, like I've been watching more movies and doing more things with the animals and spending time. I'm actually in a happier position than people think that I'm in. If I was in America, I would definitely be worse off, broke, and probably living with a family member. So I feel that at least here I have freedoms and still, if I want to order from something from the store, I don't have to hesitate. I wouldn't be able to afford that in America right now. So I'm 100%. Yeah, you have to accept it. You just do. It's just where it is. I hope you're doing good. That is a win. I feel better than yesterday. Superb. Yeah. Oh man, it was rough. What it is I think like when I push myself and I do, then just the lupus alone, I hurt. Everything swells more. If I'm stressed, things swell more. Anything going on just makes it worse. And by the way, if I didn't say that was the oxygen machine, it's actually sitting there. I opened the gate and it's just sitting out there. But the oxygen machine did come, and the one that I got is a higher concentration for the first couple liters. So I think it goes up to 5 liters. The other one, if you go beyond a one setting, you'd have to understand oxygen machines. There's the ones, I believe this is Owl Gel. I'll have to look at the brand because I was looking at several of them. But this is like the one, there's some that just say 93, but this is the 96 point something plus 3. He said that's what he wanted. Usually it's on the first setting for that. If you go higher, usually the next one drops to 60% concentration and all this other stuff, which is still more than enough. But all 3 levels that I use all stay at the highest concentration. So, and it runs for 24 hours. So it's actually, it's not much more expensive than the other one. And the other one that I had, I found out that we purchased 3 years ago. Why? Because the lupus causes um, shortness of breath. And I already told you guys I was on inhaler before. So with the heat outside and the humidity and times that I have just absolutely felt wiped out, that's why we bought this a couple years ago. So I was like, well, shit, George, we bought this 3 years ago. No wonder it went out. So yeah, during the last live stream, you could hear a and what's going on now is it's running, but it's not doing the concentration thing. It's not doing what it's supposed to. It literally is not doing the I call it the wheeze poof thing. It's not whatever it does inside is not doing it. Just the motor is grinding and it's just pushing. It's not working. It's just grinding. And so yeah. Yeah, I'll turn it on later. I'm not gonna. No, and that's it. I feel as a see if I was afraid if I made statements like I'm either going to live or die and I'm not really worried about treatment, then you get where people say, "Oh, well, now she's just collecting money for no reason or she doesn't." And then I just learned, you know what, you can satisfy everybody all the time. I've said enough today that they'll have enough content and no, yeah, that's what I was saying early, Mike, is that I am blessed because I could be sitting here for another 6 months with absolute pain and not able to get out of bed. That's just where it is, or I could be sleeping on the street. I've had really bad edema right now, legs and feet. I've had tests, but they don't know what's causing it. If your feet are swelling in your legs and you have edema, and that's long term, that's definitely something with your heart. It could be a kidney issue. It's usually, or you're pregnant. Usually it's one of the above. And the only other time that I've seen people that are of normal size and that are healthy, like my daughter, is if they get in an airplane long term and they travel, or you're in a car too long, or you're older, but pregnant women will swell too. But if you're getting it now, then there's issues. You've got blood pressure, heart, kidneys, something is having an issue. That's an organ issue, and they really need to figure that out. If they're doing blood tests and they run an EKG, there's tons of testing they can do that'll show, like I've been showing mine. I don't have it in front of me. It's called the NT-BPAP. It shows that my body is swollen. And some of the other tests will show you some of these things that indicate your heart's bad. Then they got to go from there. The EKG, they do an echocardiogram, and after that, they go from there. Like the next step they want to do, they want to see where the blockage is and place stents to try to improve my breathing and how my muscles are hurting badly. And so, yeah, there are things they can do. And plus, I'm seeing a pulmonary specialist for my lung issues because I am so full of fluid that all my organs are just being, I don't know, I guess the word is they're floating in their own juice right now. And the further in the day I get, I can barely move. And I feel like somebody said, what's his name? Said that he says, you ought to see about one of those expensive machines to squeeze juice. Or said, yeah, like the girl in Willy Wonka. Maybe that'll help. But no, I would get that checked out. Yeah, it's not a joke, and a lot. I can't believe the statements of people as oh those are made up diseases and you caused them yourselves. I'm sorry, that is not true. And again, there are several celebrities with it, and nobody has a problem with that. They really don't. It's not a made up issue. Lupus is not, and neither is fibromyalgia. They are real things, and they are very painful. Very, very painful. They make me tired. It causes so many other issues. Just the lupus was wiping me out the last year. When I got tired a few months ago, I assumed it was the lupus, but when my feet started swelling really bad, when I could no longer lay flat in the bed, I told George, I said, my heart's going out. And that was it. It was. So, hey, what is going on here? I'm going to put you back outside. Now be nice. Be nice, Krusty. I'm gonna put that hat on you. You're lucky that hat's over there. Be nice, I'm gonna punch you in the face. He's been picking on everybody. Everybody. See, that's Ebby trying to push him away. That's that kitten that was pinned under the car. He's a good kid. He's huge. He's got to be 20 pounds. That is that little kitten that's barely 7 months old. What is? But he's loving though. And there's the other cat we call Ebby, but she looks. Hey, cat fight. Hey, that looked like me and Georgie the other day. I like watching these cat fights. And here in the corner, coming around the corner, is Orange Boy, Orange Boy, Orange Boy. Oh my God. You know how sensitive people are? I'm going to mention again just to irk the trolls. They got a problem with me calling the Chinese cat over there. I call him Chinese cat. I call him Stinky Chinks. And I like, just leave me alone. Are you even kidding me right now? But people gonna talk. Oh, she's such a racist. Yeah, you're right. If that's what the label you want to throw on me, then I'm a racist too. You throw everything else on me. That's exactly, if I want to call him that, I'm gonna call him that. I can tell you some things my family has called me, or my mom has called me, or what they have called other people. If you guys can't take jokes or go along with it, or you don't like George Carlin or some of those others that were just flat out saying what was on their mind, then go away. That is not the intention behind me calling him that. I told George that when we seen that comment, I was like, whatever. People, they're sensitive, oversensitive these days. It's not being put in a context fully that's racist. It's a nickname that I call him because he's Asian, and it's just what I called him. And it's the first thing that just ran through me. And it's, if that's what you see, that's you being racist, not me. That's not the intention, and I don't care. That is not the intention of it. And I'm gonna reiterate it. This is the advice the doctor should be giving you. Well, Mike, I felt really offended when I went to him on Monday. He pretty much was like, "Why are you here?" He did say that. And I said, "Because I'm getting worse." He goes, "I can see that." And he says, "But do you need to go in the hospital today? We can help you better. There's nothing I can do." And I was like, "I do not have that money all the way around to enter, because now I'm back to where I was. I got those new meds, the lupus meds, swelling was coming down. Nothing's changed." I told him, he's like, "Oh, well, watch the fluids. I told you from going from, 2,000 mils a day, you need to be down to 15." I said, I am. I'm not ordering anything. Where I was ordering something a few times a month, I can't have nothing. The packaged foods can't have anything. I told him, I said, I'm telling you, when it gets that bad, and when you're on 3 different water pills and they've increased, he just increased it. He wants me to take it at night, this additional one at night. This means the heart is struggling. It is not a miracle by cleaning up my diet. And when I confront him medically, he's really butthurt and offended. It's crazy. I said it's a possibility that I am resistant to the water pills, and it is better to be on the IVs. It's probably because there's nothing left in my heart and it's going out. It doesn't matter if I cut out the fluids and the salts and all of that. I am doing it. Oh, yeah. It's just like, yeah, so it happens. And that's the point that I'm at. And yeah, you can only take it day to day. And the only thing that he's like, okay, well, I'll have you do the blood work and we'll check your potassium and all that. And I get his hands are tied too. But the disposition of some of the doctors here are way different than the ones in the US. The only ones that I found that were closely acting the way that this guy does, he's a great doctor. I love the clinic, is that it was a foreign doctor in America. They were either from India or, in other words, they just had no feelings whatsoever. So it's kind of, I just feel that it was the way he was like, well, why are you here? I was like, well, you just checking to see why I'm alive or what's going on? But, again, I take so much more responsibility than people know. And I'm not going to sit around and live with guilt because I tried to better me and George's life, or we came here because it's cheaper, or that people feel we took a shortcut. No, I'm still happy I'm here because there are so many bad things going on for other people around the world. Things are really expensive and bad in America. And right now I'm in the best position to take day by day. But I know one thing, without getting the stents and going in the hospital, I won't make it on an airplane. So that's just where it is. And so there's just so much going on. You take it day to day. So yeah, Laura, if you guys don't know, and you guys don't know, our Philippine Journey has a YouTube channel. Yeah, we've had contact and everything. He's got a great channel. And so, no, we talk through email and everything. He's given me some real helpful information. And he was the one on the live stream when this first happened and all the information. Out of all the things that I could fake or make up, it wouldn't be this. Those that have been watching me can clearly see something's wrong. I'm pale all the time. Today, my voice isn't as compressed as it was a few days ago when I did the live. And the amount of swelling and the test results, it's just something I would choose something else that I'd be dying from or have a problem with. That's the wild part. It's always amazing. I don't know why I jumped into that. Yeah, it's very scary all the way around. Oh, Paul Harvey has a good show. No, Mike knows it. You can't make this shit up. A lot of people want to believe what they want to believe. I'm just fat and I've made myself sick and that there's nothing wrong with me, that I'm just fat and fat. That's it. Not even with the heart conditions. Not that even, let's say I'm fat, that would cause heart issues. Oh, she's in denial. She makes things up. But all in all, when me and Mike was talking about things, he gave me so much information. And initially, in just talking to the hospitals and looking stuff up online, I'm stuck between that rock and the hard place because I'm now at a stop. I either have to pay to go in just to get the fluids off, and then it could happen 3 more times this year. Right now, I'm trying to handle it home because I'm trying to save the money for the maiden procedure. So people are like, oh, you're an idiot for not going in. Unfortunately, if I die from waiting, I do. Because the money that I'm holding now is, by the way, is different than the 5,000 the clinic's holding. He is not my surgeon. He's the heart specialist. That is meant for up and coming additional tests. It's meant for blood work. And I can't control that the donor contacted me, got the information, and gave it directly to the accounting department. I can't control that 5,000 US. That's what that guy, Be Free, was trying to trip me up. I believe that's Andy Omar or one of the trolls that are from the other channel. But we knew this and we still answered them honestly what we had gotten, what's been spent. And then I knew when he started asking stupider questions, he was lying. But either way, I am trying to save the money. And I'm stuck because Monday he was like, you do need to get the angiogram. And I said, yes. And I need to get the stents right after, right? Yes. I said, okay, so it's not just 5 or 10,000 US. It's going to take a lot of money for me to sit there 7 to 10 days to get the fluid and inflammation. He says, yes, you're sick. They won't even consider doing it until I sit in the hospital. Then they do the stents. In order to do the angiogram and the stents, I was thinking, I don't know, it was somewhere on a low end. I had told Mike, do you remember what that was? But now it could be up to 6 million, 7 million if I have to have immediate open heart surgery, which is still a possibility. And if I only have one stent, I think initially I was mentioning 20,000 US or something. I thought it was like a million. Because why? Because that's for somebody with no complications, might be 20, 30,000. No, this could be probably even upwards to 60,000. It's just rough. Until they get in there with the camera, we won't know what's going on. We just won't. And the doctor told me Monday, I said, with me in this position getting worse, can we still do the stents? The answer was yes. But if we get in there and it's really bad, inflammation, the lupus, and the APS and the blood clotting and all these other things that are going to become a complication, it's got to be open heart surgery. 6-7 million, and it'll probably even go higher because my breathing issues and the lupus. So then, like Mike said, we had to have the specialist. So hey, what is going on? Good morning. I was in Olongapo during All Souls Day in the cemetery. It was hot as hell. Hell yeah, it is. I thought I was going to die, right? I put ice on myself and it felt like a heat stroke. No, that's no joke. That's no joke. People are like, oh, Heidi's bougie and she's got the AC on and blah, 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 because she's heavy and fat. And I'm like, dude, I got it on because I can't breathe. Ain't nobody want to sit up in this heat like this. It just ain't happening. And it is bad for your health to do it. I think expats underestimate, oh, well, I don't need a fan and I won't be running anything but charging my phones when I get there. Those are expats that are living on a $600-700 a month budget that won't run AC. You really need to consider running AC. When you get here and you're here for more than a vacation, you're going to change your mind. When I first got here, I was running it half of a day or at nighttime. And with the other unit I had before, it was costing me more money. It was outrageous. I think $250 a month because of the type of unit we had. And so, yeah, you're going to want that AC. Yeah, stupid is as stupid doesn't, and they're not going to ever have any empathy, sympathy, or any understanding, or they don't want to. It's because they're afraid. It's like when we were in school back in the 70s and 80s, kids in wheelchairs or that had mental issues or they were different, whether they were Chinese or like a foreign exchange student, or whether they were, a different color. They liked to pick and they were cruel and they bullied. First off, usually they had some sort of mental issue themselves. Secondly, when they're afraid of something they don't understand or it's different, they just start freaking out. So it's like an avoidant thing to pick, and it is a whole psychological thing. And honestly, I feel sorry for these people. I do, and I understand why they do it too. And they don't think I do. They think I'm like, oh, yeah, you got me. I'm fat. Oh, she's lying. Oh, she's a scammer. It doesn't matter if you say those things or not, whether they're true or not. You are the bottom line is what kind of person would make the statement behind it that you hope I die? That is very sad. That is sad that you don't know me at all. You're listening to what other people are saying. You are not getting the full facts. You don't have any full facts on anything that's out there. You're listening. The same with anything going on politically or stories about celebrities. Usually they're not even true, they're made up. So you're going to go on, well, I can't believe she did that. Now I just hate her. But you don't know anything. You don't know me. And then you're going to wish me dead when I'm actually dying. And it's like, dude, I'm already dying. I'm already fat. If I want to enjoy a donut, I'm going to. If I want to do something, you are not my permission. You're a watcher. That has no effect on my life at all. But the only effect you have is watching, and it just adds to the income. All money from the YouTube channel goes directly into the account. We always told you it's in a Metro Bank account. So the money is not going to anybody but the medical account. All money coming in. Stickers, PayPal is actually the support of the channel by watching is all going in there. So might take 40 months to pay for it or something, but it's where it is. So for people that have been out, I just want to say on a side note, because somebody scanned the thing. But yeah, I just want to let people know because they're like, oh, well, if Heidi's doing the lives and George doesn't appear and who owns what. And by the way, what's your name? You're not the only person that mentioned that. You guys have mentioned this over the years. I told you guys the last few times. The money still goes in the account. We are still together. I just can't handle the stress during the lives. George has one way of explaining. I have another. It's not worth the tension in the house when he's here. So, but it's all good. So, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work forever. Oh, snap. I haven't heard that in a while. You're right, Black Grandpa. And I thought about that. I'm like, I should have worked harder. I should have, could have, did more. You can't unless you're lucky to make these investments and have money to start with. You know what I seen the other day? I didn't realize how corrupt Silicon Valley and some of these other businesses were. I remember when tech started coming around. And when I got involved, it was 96, 97. But I guess there were so many inside people trying to get into these companies. They were stealing their work, their ideals, the way they built the businesses. They were cutthroat. There was like some mafia shit going on. And it is the truth. That's the only way you're going to get ahead. Don't you think if I wanted to get ahead, it wouldn't be over me saying I have congestive heart failure? Believe me, sweetie, I could come up with some money. I could trick out George. I mean, there's about a million ways to scam somebody, especially in digital media, but that's not what's going on. So, if you can't figure that out, and if you don't invest right or at the right time, right place, 80% of the world doesn't have 10,000 in their account. So it's just where it is. It is a sad fact and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse for the world. If they don't reopen the Hormuz and if they don't get this going, even the next crops here in the Philippines and America are in major danger. The food situation, if this doesn't get fixed in the next few months or next few weeks, shit is just going to go downhill. There's a lot more to worry about. And honestly, I'm going to say something a lot more brutal. I don't want to be around when all this happens. If it's your time, it's your time. I'm 55 years old. If it is my time, sweeties, it is my time. One day at a time. I don't want to be here when this shit goes down. It's already ridiculous. Here, they're still paying. I think I seen gas at 79 pesos and per liter. I'd have to figure out what that current cost is, but they just mentioned it's about ready to go up again. It's still really expensive to fill the gas tank. Costs are going up everywhere. Threat of nuclear war and wiping countries out, and the next thing you know, shit just gets bad. So I'll take heart problems and cancer for 200, Alex. Bye, bitches. I'm out. So it's just where it is. He's like, exactly. They do that on homes too. Corporations, particularly, yeah, foreign corporations buy up the homes. Yeah, Florida's really bad about it. We should have rules. Yeah, but they're not stopping it. I just seen something else. It wasn't homes. What is it they're screwing people on besides the insurance and the medical insurance? Is it just getting crazy? And those that thought a long time ago, I thought about a mobile home like that. And I'm thinking, thank God. Oh, we need 10,000 US down. And then it's going to be 900 to 1,000. Then you got the lot rent. Well, shit, that's 12, 1,500 a month. I don't think so. What if those rents go up? Oh, yes, those definitely can. I'm like, oh, never mind. And these are nice. These are like the ones that got 3, 4 bedrooms in it. Those nice ones. And it's just crazy. Let's see. Just going through the comments. Oh, thank you, Professor. Yeah, like I was telling George the other day, I go through the comments and look stuff up in my phone and everything. I can't see the stickers on here like he can on the tablet. That's why I asked him that day when he went off. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good one, the Heidmeister. Yeah. So Oh, well, and that is true too. It is like that, Lee, with a lot of offices. Um, yeah, pretty much. And he already knows. George said that from the test results, he knows it's either the surgery or not at all. So I understand. I'm just another number. We all are. So I get that. So nope, and it's not no fault. It's just life. It sure is. Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Fair play, Sarah. Timmy. Timmy's like, fair play. Hey, Scott, what is going on? So, so what have you been up to, Scott? I've been watching your beautiful bride. How is she? What is going on? Oh, I blocked him. Did he say something earlier, Ted? I don't think he has. I'm gonna promise you right now, nothing came up that was remotely what he's been talking about. So, um, I believe he made that statement and he kept asking a few times. And that's what I told people. If you guys go on the site that George set up for Medical Fund, and I think he questioned me on the PayPal, not the GoFundMe part. If you guys did that direct, I double checked with our accountant here. That's exactly what'll happen. If he's like, oh, I want to use it. I think it was Be Free that said that on top of every. So in other words, he used all this fancy stuff in between to make me believe he was legit. When in the end, he just showed his ass. So he is a troll, and I'm answering because that's where I'm at. And I ain't got nothing to hide on that. But he kept questioning about, like, he wanted information that was way out there. And so use your damn PayPal receipt and use it as taxes. First off, nobody gave, in other words, short of the guy doing the 5,000, you didn't give $1,000 to do a write off. You're telling me you itemized all your stuff that you're doing taxes. Most people take the standard. So you're full of shit and whatever. So you use your PayPal receipt that you gave money to a YouTube channel, or you take the thing from the GoFundMe and show what it's for, and they will accept it. So there is no in betweens. That was another thing he came up with. I think he said something about if he gave money, how is he going to get a receipt and all that. I'm like, dude, it's. And then he just showed himself. So, now if that's what's going on, Ted, got a lot of lovely ladies in the room. Got a lot of lovely ladies in the room. Oh, electrolytes is a bummer, radar. It's really off. My legs, feet, hands, they kind of fold in midday. And I try to keep a balance with some coconut water because one pill takes a bunch of potassium. The next one overcompensates. Remember, I told you I can't have things with a lot of potassium. Now he's got me on another pill that does the opposite. There's some weird in between. And sometimes I have to take a potassium supplement, and I can barely walk based on that sometimes. Electrolytes is a crazy thing when you're on that many water pills and all day. Now I take one at night, and now I have to pee through the night now. So I thought I was going to get a break while I was asleep. I don't. Yeah. See, here's the thing, Ted. He's trying to prove that for himself. I'm telling you, he's one of the old trolls and he's part of the other gang. So they're wanting to prove that that's what's going on. So they're trying to get us to trip up and say shit. Any contributions that are coming in, we're not that type. It is meant for medical and support of the channel. That's all you're going to get from us. Do what you got to do. You ain't tripping me up. That's just where it is, and we're not. By law, if that's what you want to do as a write off because you're helping with the channel, then you do that. Nobody's giving you a personal receipt. And the guy's full of shit. Be Free goes on all the other channels, and depending whether he gets what he wants, then he's nice. Besides that, he's been trollish over the years. And again, I believe he's one of those old trolls. So, hey, what is going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Armstrong is in the house. Hey, Richard. Well, I can say the same. Everyone took what was said. Yeah, and no one knew any facts. That is true. In my situation, and kept assuming and making up garbage. There was a lot of made up on the side. We were going by what was out there, but we watched the videos and tried to go by what you said and he said. And it is social media. And it does get twisted. By the time we say something, we deleted so many messages on the Armstrongs. The most thing, and I tried to be fair about the way she was acting. And I watched her after the fact, after like you had made it back to America, and it was just so obvious there were issues with her. I'm gonna tell you that right. I'm just not saying because you're in the room. There is no marriage where both sides aren't taking responsibility. When it's toxic and it goes bad, it goes bad. Then people start their cheating and drinking and separation in rooms. This is the way it always goes. I'm 55 years old. You know the game. And then people want to side with the Filipina, then they want to side with the expat, then the stuff is made up. It's kind of like what's going on now with me and George. We're still together. I still hate his guts part of the time, like he hates my guts. It's love and marriage, man. It's just like we're like living out this thing, and I'm always in intense pain. It's not helping. It just isn't. And nobody stays rosy forever. But you're right. It's from Jump Street. They're going to choose one side and then the stuff they make up. I bet you heard some wild crap. Yeah, I would agree after I seen more and more, and then when time went by and I went back and looked and seen her new man. I haven't watched her forever. I only went in because people think we watch certain channels all the time. And that one specifically, I couldn't handle her channel. George, we liked it when you were on there in the building and when, the family dynamic was going on. But when she went in there by herself and it was this new guy, I was like, oh, yeah. And so, I just couldn't handle anything that was going on. And it was evident the way she went on about you. She was obsessed. And there was something on her side that fell apart. So, okay. So Gary says hydrochloroquine, chemo meds, Imuron, steroid, prednisone, biologic, ben, uh, Benlistai, I think that's how you say it, opiate point pain meds that put an elephant down. Yeah, these are just some of my lupus meds. Lupus meds are killing me. They're giving you opiates. I mean, for me, they won't give me only until I am permanently in bed and having such severe breathing problems with this will I ever see anything pain meds wise. And then it'll be morphine for specific reasons of calming my chest and the pain that I'm having. It has to do with your breathing and the heart and everything because anything extra like that would be devastating. Um, I'm allowed tramadol, and like even my lung medicine is limited. I have to watch how many breathing treatments I have. I got to watch how many inhalers I use. And I have a liquid one that breaks stuff down in my chest for my lungs. I'm not allowed to use it unless it's an emergency because it affects my heart, speeds it up, slows it down. I am on hydrochloroquine and prednisone. Someone said the other day, well, if you just wouldn't take steroids all the time and you go get real treatment, then you wouldn't be sick also. And I'm like, I am on multiple and I have been seeing a doctor. So I am on a few of them. I'm not on chemo. So, but no, it definitely will. Nope, that's like me. Someone's like, "Oh, woe is Heidi. We don't know Georgia's side, and she talks shit." And I'm like, "Dude, there are two sides." I said, toxic and toxic don't work well together. When you're going through family issues, when you're going through somebody dying, I think it's definitely the way he's reacting. But I also said, I know he's got problems, so he can't blame it on there. Nobody's innocent in the game of love and marriage. It just isn't. And the sooner you accept it, own responsibility, and move on, and either you let it take you down or not, is the better. I think if people know the marriages are bad, they should get out sooner than later. And when you add things like I've been telling you guys about expats coming here, they're having problems with their spouses before they get here, like Filipinas that have, they met over in America or another country. Then they bring them over here for retirement. Then shit falls apart. Expats sell all their stuff. They come over and then shit falls apart. It's better to make sure some of that is out of the system before you make major moves like that. It'll just add to one other problem you'll have besides medical issues. Everybody gets sick. It's funny how people can't believe that an older woman is having medical problems besides her being overweight. It's, things are going to happen. You're not going to avoid these medical issues. And all the insurance and money in the world may not help you. So, it's not even a joke, man, Gary. A lot of people, somebody said that they had seen on a show that it was either, I think they said lupus was a made up thing. And I've heard it several times. I'm like, okay, it's not. It just isn't. And it is. For some reason, where I had minor back problems and sciatic nerve problems, I'm a big girl. I've been in car accidents. I have herniated disc. I've got a bad back and curvature. So then it goes from my tailbone around to the side of my hip and radiates down my left leg all the way down to my feet almost the entire day. And that was just by itself. Only got worse recently. And with my legs swollen, it makes it worse. And the lupus causes it to be worse. So it's just like right on top of it, it is painful as hell. Hey, what's going on, Papa? If you need a heart valve, do you take? Have you looked into TAVR? Right now, he says it's just starting. Like there's numbers or something. It is now just going into. In other words, there's positive numbers and it stays in the blue, and it's highlighted in red. It's the beginning of it. It's not his concern. So I haven't looked into that, and everything can change. I have to deal with what's going on right now. So I haven't even looked that up, what the cost or what it involves, or everything can be changed based on if all of a sudden I get, I don't know. I don't know because if I have multiple stents and it goes over a certain price and things are too complicated and they got to open me up for the coronary bypass, they might as well do something possibly with that valve that's starting to go bad. So I is that the one where they want you to wear something and you got to wear that pack in the shower, and you got to keep a battery hooked up to it and it's directly to your heart and they put it through your chest or something? The non-invasive one, I don't think would be. I think that was definitely more costly than anything here. If that's the one you're talking about. I am not a specialist in anything. Right? Richard Visayas brought you down, Ninja Army, huh? I've been investing into Globi Diversity Targeted Date Fund since I was 20, making $8.90 an hour. After 35 years, I'm up to, oh, wow. Well, then you did well and you had a lot of discipline, that's for sure. Right? I got distracted. Yeah, he appears in other channels because I watch other channels and usually his comments have been so so. But remember, most of these other channels hide behind other names. It's hard to say who he is, but by his statements, they're not normal statements. And then they're like, oh, well, because somebody questioned you, they're a troll. No, he's been sending me emails too. So it's the way he puts it. And George's like, don't even answer him. I was like, oh, fuck that. I'm going to answer him because he's trying to trick us. He's trying to think he's getting ahead of something, and I'm just answering him. If somebody else asked, I'd have answered the same thing. But now he's just getting rude, and then he showed his troll ass in here. So it was. So I called him out, and then he couldn't help himself. So, yeah. Create another account and come in and say the same things. Most of the people that are coming in say the exact same thing when they get blocked, and then they come in and say something else in the same manner, then you know it's the same person. And you can come in and disturb. That's all you're doing. You can come in and make your statements thinking that you're adding to people or you're changing somebody's mind and be gone, poof, recreate another account. See you later. All right, I'm just going to scroll through some of these now. Hey, good morning, Victoria. What is going on? The weird thing is right now is I was not really a salty food person, like anything. I liked my pizza, like my chicken, the fried chicken, like they call it Korean chicken here because they're like chunks that they'll deep fry. But I was always into sweets. I ain't even gonna lie. George knows I would eat sugar and a bowl of cereal before I would eat anything. But now it's the opposite. My cravings have been now, I guess it's because of the water pills, urinating so much, the balance of electrolytes. Because now that's all I want is like, I'm like, dang. And then I went through the house yesterday and gave the neighbor a bunch of food because I can't have it. I thought I was still being safe, even in moderation. Like I said, one tortilla has a half a day of sodium in it. So I can't even use the tortilla. Then if I open up a can of tuna, short of running water over it or something, even low sodium is still too much sodium. I'm not going to just eat a tablespoon of tuna fish for lunch. So it just sucks because everything. So I guess I got to go get my own tuna and make my own tuna fish. So it's crazy. So I've had to cook everything and I prep meals. So I made something called dirty spaghetti this morning while I still had energy. I've been up since 4 a.m. And it's basically lean hamburger, pasta, and then it's a couple tablespoons of tomato sauce, fresh red peppers cut up in it, a tablespoon of coconut aminos, a tablespoon of Worcestershire because it makes a lot of serving. So in other words, I freeze it afterwards. So when you take a tablespoon, that spreads it out. It's only 5-6 grams of sodium or something. There's barely anything when you spread it out and other stuff. I think there's a tablespoon of brown sugar, some sesame, and there was something else that I'm forgetting is why they call it dirty spaghetti. And then spaghetti gets in the pan with the meat and all the items, onion, garlic, or something. It turns out pretty good. And so it's something that I can eat for lunch or for dinner, and or I'll do the salad, make my own dressing, and then what is it that I made a bunch of pre-packs of oatmeal. That way it's got like the stevia in it, some cinnamon and all that. And that way I'm not standing there making it every morning. I can just dump it in a bowl, microwave. By that time I feel like I'm going to collapse. I run back to the bed, wait for it to cook, come back. So I prep the meals and take on when I have more energy than other days. So I'm prepped. So hi, what TT? Hi, Tweety Bear. Hi, Mary. Did you say hi? Hi. You a pain in my butt. Yeah. You want to go outside? Oh God, she's afraid to go outside. Did I tell you guys the 1, 2 times I put Mary outside, she acted like she was dying, dying. Like she, first she didn't want me to put her down. Then she just stood still like she was frozen. And I thought she'd want to play out there. She loves Willie. She just sat there and she was like a stiff board. Hey, YouTube experiment, what is going on? Good to see you doing live streams, hoping for better days ahead. Most definitely. Hope you're doing good. What is going on? Hey, what's going on? Corner Clubhouse Cobalt. And there may be a chance down the road, and I mean like probably down the road, that on holidays, this is what I said about a year ago, that George has been doing his own gaming channel. He's been spending more time with his family. There are new family members over there. He goes out and picks things up for the house. I have no problem with him doing that. I don't give him a hard time about that. He doesn't have an interest. Sure, I was raging the other day, and I reiterated this the other day. Just doing live streams altogether just isn't impossible. And it's better. I don't want fighting. I've only got days to months to live right now. It's hard saying I don't need the frustration. He doesn't. And he really is not as much, I said, losing interest as he is. Something has changed emotionally, going through a change. It's not that the regulars aren't a priority. He just never was social media. So he loves doing the videos and the walkabouts and editing, and he does help with all the other stuff like thumbnails and stuff. So it's just me doing the live streams from here out. It's just better to make that decision that the 2 or 3 a week will be me. Why? It gives me the inspiration to not lay in bed for 3 days at a time. And besides the animals and um, you know, everything else, it's what I need too. So it's just runs the adrenaline. So Victoria, hope the family's doing well. Happy birthday to you, grandson. Tell him a lady in Australia says happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Tony Braxton. There's a lot of celebrities. As a matter of fact, my daughter has it. It's wild. It usually doesn't happen. It can happen, and she goes through a lot of severe things. And she's normal size, vegan, doesn't overeat, doesn't eat sugar, doesn't cause her own issues, and she suffers severely from it. And Tony Braxton, Selena Gomez. That's the whole reason that she had kidney issues, and that her face looks like a little chipmunk. Not everybody suffers from all the other side stuff, but for her, when you see her bloating, it's because she's on steroids and because she was having kidney issues, but she has lupus too. And it's there's quite a few. There's a list of them. Yeah, Timmy, I think I've already probably blocked you. I'll address if I haven't. I don't know what your side stuff is. If you're talking to somebody else or you're trying to talk to me about asking about your friend initially, why would you ask about a random person that, one, I know I've never heard of and they're not like in the news that I know of? And why would you mention them like that? So it's another strange behavior. I have done that. The cold oats, what I found is I have to be careful because I was doing 2 and 3 of them at a time. And then I don't always eat them and I can't get George to eat them. It messes his stomach up. So, hey, Heidi, cute puppers. He's living midlife crisis. Old George wanting the best for you. Yeah, I'm sure that's all it is tension. I just don't need any more on the side, down to not doing the channel at all. And I definitely promise you that if I don't, then he will just be uploading a video here and there. And then there'll just be no, we would just leave it up and it would just be videos from him. And so I would rather be where I can do this and it gives me something to do. I am in a form of a retirement in the Philippines, and a lot of guys and people take it on because it gives them something to do and a way to talk and communicate and vent and voice and pick on everybody. So it's just where it is. So all right, guys, I am into this now for 2 hours, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up and go bring in the oxygen machine because it's been down for, yeah, that's what I was talking. Yeah, George was like, well, as long as it's blowing, it's okay. And I'm like, holy shit, it seems like I was getting a headache. So the basis, let me check something.
Welcome. Please keep the humidifier bottle clean. Oxygen on 3 liter. Oxygen off.
Yeah, it'll take a minute for the motor to work. So what happens is after a few minutes, it no longer does the process of changing. It brings in the air and exchanges it the wheeze poof stops after a couple minutes, and then you hear the grinding. And then it grinds so bad it smells like the motor's burning. And this started this 2 or 3 days ago. So it happened during the live stream, and then we ordered. And so I'm surprised, like George said, oh, thank God it came from Lex PH and not the other company and everything. So yeah, we were just lucky on that. So, but all right, guys, see you later. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for everybody being here. Thank you, thank you. And I will be in lifetime heaven and cat heaven after this. But I appreciate everybody stopping in. Our Philippine journey said, would you like for me to do a video that fully explains the step-by-step process of the angio stenting? Yeah, that would be great. And I think people should, like you talking about what happened with you medically and everything. So it's I know that I'm going to feel so much better. I just don't think people understand. It's like we have the money to do that because I think give or take the process is 80,000 to 100 to have that done, which is like $2,000. The problem is I can't keep repeating it, and I definitely will freak out to find out that I could die any minute situation, but it needs to be done all at once. There's packages where it gets cheaper. So if I just piecemeal and go in, I probably won't be able to have the stents for 2 more years if I had to save for them. And it's just where it is. But yeah, that would be great, Mike. I appreciate it. So love you guys. Bye, everybody. And see you on Friday.